One of my new favorite trends in celebrity hairstyles is loose beachy waves with a small French braid at the front of your hairline. I've seen this look on Anne Hathaway, Jennifer Aniston, Molly Sims, and it's a look that I think just looks effortless yet chic. I'm going to show you how I recreate this style following this. The first step in creating the hairstyle is to create the braid at the front of your hairline. Before you create the French braid, you're going to want to section the hair and predetermine how thick you want the French braid to be. Because a French braid grows in width as it moves down your head, if you don't section it off first, you're going to end up with a really large section of hair down at the bottom as it grows in width. So you're going to want to section first, and you'll just decide how big you want the braid to be. And just taking a rat tail comb, make a section. I want mine to be about that thick. So then I'm going to pin back the hair that's not going in the braid out of the way so that it doesn't add itself to the braid as I'm working down. I'm also going to section the same way on the other side and pin that out of the way. Since I'm creating two braids, one on the right and one on the left, I'm going to make a zigzag part in the center part so that it's not a straight line in the middle here. So just taking my rat tail, you simply make a zigzag motion for the zigzag part. Another common problem with braiding really dark hair like mine is that sometimes, unless you're very close, you can't see that there's an actual braid in the hair. So to fix this, I like to just add one of my easilites clip-in highlights just right under the very first layer of the braid. And just clip that in. And then the blonde highlights are going to be added to my braid as I work down. And it's a really, really subtle highlight, but it just kind of helps highlight the braid and let you see that there's actually a braid in the hairline there. So to begin the braid, I'm going to start in the middle. And I'll make 3 pieces and then begin a traditional braid, which is just crossing over the top. And then as you begin the French braid, you'll begin to add from the sides. Then as you finish the braid, you'll simply tuck it back and pin it in place. And it's okay if the braid's not perfect because you have to remember it's a really relaxed looking style. So then taking the edge of my rat tail comb, I just slightly lift up on the braid so it's not extremely flat against the head. This also relaxes the style. And I'm going to repeat the process on the other side. And now that the 2 front braids at the front are complete, the next step is to add waves to the hair. So I'm finished creating the braids, and as I mentioned before, you can add the easilight for some added color. You can even add a few easilights, and I used a natural blonde shade, but you can even try like a bright neon color or a fun, funky color for a really different effect there. So the next step after creating the braid is to create the waves. To create the loose body wave style that looks just perfect with the front braid, I'm going to use my Enzo Milano Grande Conico. So this is going to create a nice loose body wave, and I'll show you the technique. So I'm going to let down my section. And I'm also going to prep my hair with some Bohemian beach spray. It gives it that nice texture that makes it look just like a really effortless style. So I'll show you the curl pattern right at the top here, and I'll demonstrate a curl. I'm going to take a small, rather flat section of hair. Then I'm going to hold the Enzo Milano down. I'm going to wrap and just allow my hair to naturally twist around the iron. I'm going to hold for about 3 to 5 seconds. Then when I release the iron, I'm just going to give it a nice little tug, and it creates just a barely waved style. And I'll demonstrate another curl right beside that. So again, holding it down, wrapping around, and then just giving it a tug for that barely waved effect. I'm going to finish the hairstyle using the body wave technique, and I'll show you the result following this. So I've just finished creating waves in my short hair with my Enzo, and you can see what a really effortless style that is, but it's a really great look. And all you need to do is create the braid in the front and then create the waves with the Enzo. And if you really just cannot get the technique of working with the braid, you can fake it. Stars like Sienna Miller fake the braid with a braided headband. And you can try Serenity by easihair. It's a really great braided headband that you just stick right on and then create the waves, and you have an instant hairstyle. Another great look I love with the braid in the front is clipping in my extensions, curling with the Enzo, and then making a nice loose bun at the bottom. I love that look, and I'll show you how I achieved that following this. To begin the loose bun hairstyle, I'm just going to clip in my extensions, and I'm using my easiXtend Elite 16 inches by easihair. So just going to apply in the normal fashion, just taking a low part, clip the hair out of the way, and apply my bottom piece. The hair has a slight wave in it because I had them curled before, but I'm going to go back through with the Enzo and get the exact same curl pattern as I have in the top area of my head. So moving up a section. And then once I have 2 wefts in, I'm going to then begin with the Enzo since I like working in smaller sections. So I'll do 2 at a time, 2 wefts, and then I'll add the next 2, and I'll work with the Enzo and complete the style in the same manner, which is just taking a small section of hair, wrapping around the Enzo, letting the hair naturally twist. I'm going to hold for 3 to 5 seconds. And release and give it a slight tug for that nice barely waved look. Do the curl beside it. Release and tug. I'm going to complete this curl pattern. As I clip in my extensions, I'll finish the wave and show you the final look. So I'm just finishing curling the very last piece of my clip-in extensions, and you saw me clip in weft number 1 and 2 and start to curl, and then I added 3 and 4 and then my 2 little small wefts on the side, and I finished out the look with the Enzo. And you can see this is a completely different look, and this is a great look in itself. You don't even have to make the loose bun because this is a really glamorous look too. But to make the loose bun, your waves are going to act as the texture, so it's great to have your hair all waved before you even begin. And you'll just gather into a low ponytail like that, just really loosely with your fingers. and then just really lightly begin to twist. You don't want to twist from the ends, just twist from the middle of the hair. And you want the messiness of it, so you can pull out some random pieces, just like that. And then taking some bobby pins, you'll just pin around the perimeter. Just kind of mess it up a little bit more with your fingers and set into place with a stronghold hairspray like David Babaii. And you have a really elegant, effortless, really bohemian beachy look in just a few steps.